The real condition of all phenomena. When we speak of Dharma teachings, there are many different forms and traditions, but the principle is neither the form nor the tradition. Dharma means knowledge, understanding. The word Dharma comes from Sanskrit, and the real meaning is all phenomena. That means we need to have knowledge and understanding of all phenomena. In general, people say, we are following Dharma, and speak of it as a kind of religion created by Buddha Shakyamuni. This is not a correct point of view. Buddha never created any kind of school or religion. Buddha was a totally enlightened being, someone beyond our limited point of view. The teaching of the Buddha is to have presence in that knowledge. If we are interested in Dharma, we are interested in knowledge and in understanding the real condition of all phenomena. How can we gain such knowledge? It does not mean we learn in an intellectual way, merely in the condition of subject and object, judging and considering things outside us. Generally, we have the idea, I am here, I see these objects in front of me, and I consider that this is good and that is bad. In this way, we perform many types of analysis through which we develop infinite limitations. For that reason, the Buddha taught from the beginning that we should not only look outwards, but we should observe ourselves a little. Working in that way, we can discover what the real situation is. When we speak of the Buddha's teaching, we speak of 3 different yanas or vehicles, the roots of which are all in the teachings he gave in his lifetime in India. We can also study how the Buddha transmitted this teaching. Suffering. There is a teaching that is universal to all Buddhists called the Four Noble Truths. This was the first teaching transmitted by Buddha. Even if we have different methods in the teaching, such as Tantra and Dzogchen, they are always based on the Four Noble Truths. Why are they called the Noble Truths? They are noble because they are important for knowledge and understanding. For example, in the Four Noble Truths, we start with the understanding of suffering. In general, suffering is not so difficult to understand. Even if we know what it is, we are distracted and not present, and, in particular, we are not aware that suffering has a cause. Suffering is the fruit or the effect of a cause. If there is an effect or a fruit, there is a cause. Why did Buddha explain suffering in the first of all his teachings? It is not because it is particularly interesting or that people wanted to know about it, but because suffering is universal, and everyone has had that experience. Suffering is not a subject about which we can agree or disagree. If Buddha had explained the nature of mind, for example, there would have been many who agreed or disagreed with him. We human beings are in general very limited. We have very strong egos, and generally people are convinced that they have knowledge and understanding with their point of view. First of all, there are many arguments regarding the nature of mind. The main point of Buddha's teaching was not to convince or to argue, but to make clear our real condition. Ordinary people can understand something of which they have concrete experience. If we have no experience, it is difficult to understand or accept anything. A baby or a small child, for example, has no experience of life. They do not know their condition or their limitations. When we tell children not to touch fire, we say, "You'll hurt yourself." If the child has no experience of fire, it is very difficult for the child to accept. But if the child touches the fire, then the child will have direct experience. When they see a fire burning, they will not touch it again. Of course, this is an experience of suffering, a concrete problem that everyone has. but we do not think much about the cause.